I don't usually do this, but
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Scorpinko, and I am back with another YouTube tutorial video for you guys. So I'm gonna get straight into it since this is a long awaited video. I am going to be using a 5x5 closure, 18-inch, and 3 bundles of my Spain straight raw hair. I'm using inches 20, 22, and 24. And of course, I'm going to be showing you guys how I prep my bundles. Not really so much the closure. The closure is already pre-plucked. The knots are small. And again, this is raw hair. So when I make my wigs, I definitely make my wigs really quickly, only because of how I prepped my bundles. I don't per se go into making the wigs just straight off the bat. I definitely have to take a loose each bundle. You can use a pair of scissors, or you could just pop the bundles. But if you're using scissors, make sure you be really, really careful when you're cutting the rubber band on the bundles. I go ahead and I double my tracks. So I basically fold my tracks in half. I make sure everything is set it right on the sewing machine. I lift up my presser foot. I make sure my needle is down in my track. And then I lower my presser foot and I get to stitching. I do stitch on a zigzag stitch. I will get more into depth on another video. So right now I am doing a zigzag stitch. Remember, my one bundle, I'm using a 24-inch right now. I double my tracks, meaning I folded my tracks in half, and I made sure I placed one track right up underneath the other so I can zigzag stitch them together. This is a better view. I'm trying to get as close as possible as I can. And this is a voiceover as well. So right here, I'm back stitching. I'm making sure the ends of my weft doesn't unravel once I cut, as far as I want a flat surface on my wig when I make the wig. So all this comes into play. I'm going to go ahead and stitch. This stitch usually takes me probably less than a minute. As you see, the sewing machine is going really, really fast. And you have to be careful not to get your hand too close up under there, because you don't want to get injured. So I'm just going to go ahead and stitch this bundle. As you see, I'm pinching closer to the presser foot to make sure my tracks are still as close as possible, which is going to make the stitching on the sewing machine, the zigzag, stitch together easily. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and unravel this bundle. This is bundle inch number 22. The bundle we just stitched was inches 24. So I'm basically going from my longest inch up into my shortest. So this will be bundle 22 inch. Remember, I'm going to fold my bundle in half, making sure one track is placed right under the next. And I'm going to go ahead and lower my needle into my tracks, lower my presser foot, back stitch, make sure the ends are nice and neat put together. I don't want any unraveling. And we're going to go ahead and pinch the track and pull slightly and let the sewing machine do its due. as y'all can see right here, the tracks are super duper flat. Like, you never seen bundles doubled and they're flat. I love the sewing machine, and this is a Singer sewing machine, by the way. So right here I'm showing you guys all 3 bundles being done. This is the 20, 22, 24 inch. Okay, Spain raw hair straight. Okay, so now that the bundles are prepped and I have my closure already on the side, the closure, you don't have to do anything. I always put my closure on last on my wigs, but I just want to show you guys right here the actual texture of this straight hair is super duper silky. Like, it's so healthy. It's 100% raw hair from Spain. I love this hair. It's kind of on the expensive side. However, the hair does last about 2 to 3, I would say 4 years. I have customers that text and DM and leave reviews saying they still have their hair, which is great. Okay, so now we're going to get into the juicy part. So everybody asks me, how do I get this dark jet black hair? Like, when I say jet black, like it be jet black. I'm using my protectant on my lace. So first thing first is, when I dye hair jet black, I know you guys probably heard of watercoloring. I per se do not like to watercolor, because I feel like when you're adding water to dye, you're diluting the dye and it's taking the vibrance off of it. So what I do is I only drench the hair versus me, dipping the hair in a bucket of water. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to go ahead and I basically already wetted my closure. And then I'm using Beijing Blue Black. I'm going to put it in the video. It's right here. And then also I'm going to be using Black Velvet from Adore. So I'm mixing a semi-permanent and a permanent hair dye to get an overall jet black color. When I use these two in combination, I also notice this is blacker than jet black. You basically using a blue black, which has an undertone of blue, and then you're canceling out the blue by using the Black Velvet semi-permanent. I can't really go into depth right now, but I just want to let you guys know, using these two, you will get a darker black, like blacker than jet black, like black. So after I drench my closure with water, I wring it out and I basically go in with a brush. After spraying my protectant on the lace, I use the protectant so that if any dye gets on my lace, it's going to be easy to rinse off while the closure is wet. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm using my brush. I'm painting the Beijing, the blue black on the hair. Only on the hair. Then I'm using a rat tail comb, which I'm getting so close to the roots, avoiding getting dye on the knots. That's exactly what you want to do. The video is moving pretty fast because, I'm kind of used to doing this. So this is really fast, but go at your own pace. I'm pretty sure and I'm positive you won't get dye on your knots. I'm using my rat tail comb. I love a thin rat tail comb. It gets every piece of hair versus a wide tooth comb. Wide tooth combs don't really cover up everything. You got to really get in there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place my closure face down. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab my bundles. So my bundles already have the dye. It's been sitting on there. I'm not sure why I didn't catch that part of the video. Oh my god, I got dye on my hand. And just for the record, so right here I'm using the Black Velvet, which I told you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and use the remaining over all the bundles. I'm gonna go ahead and lather it. So everything right here is just being lathered. I'm adding more dye. And please remember, Soak your bundles. Ladies, you have to soak your bundles. Gentlemen, you have to soak your bundles so they're wet. The same way you would dip them in the water, you're going to do the same thing but in the sink. Once you do that, you add the blue black Beijing. I used about 2 bottles of Beijing and 1 bottle of the Adore. So I'm going to go ahead, lather that, and then I add the black velvet on top of the blue black, which is what you're seeing me do right here. And I'm going to leave this in a sink for about an hour. The longer you sit it, the better it takes. Sometimes if I really want to get a jet black, like dark black, I would literally do this, put my bundles in a Ziploc bag and put it in the refrigerator. But that'll be OD right now because this client needed her wig exactly the same day. And this is all just dye and me putting more dye on top of dye and lathering. When you lather it, look at how much pigmented it is. So I noticed I kind of got a little bit of dye on the closure. But remember, I used my protectant. So I used a little bit of water to go ahead and get it off before it does any more damage. And remember, if it does damage when the lace is dry, you can go in and use the remover, spray it, and it removes it right off. So the protectant and the remover from the lace proof kit is available on my website. I'm going to put the link below. You can literally spray this stuff on the lace and it can save you a lot of time and a lot of mess. As y'all can see, just like that, poof, it's gone. The lace is still transparent. I have on dirty black gloves. We're getting the job done. Okay, so again, go ahead and lay your closure back in. Go ahead and grab your bundles. I'm making sure everything is saturated. I just have to make sure. You also can go back and use your rat tail comb and comb through each bundle. Me personally, I didn't do that in this video because I feel like I smothered the bundles enough. And I know you guys are probably wondering, what's going on with my wrist. I recently did a procedure on my back. I did have a crooked spinal cord a little bit. I can't really stand as long as I used to, so Yeah, it's okay, but I'm doing better. I'm supposed to be on bed rest, so I find this bed rest for me. However, I'm still in my house. So for right here, we're going to be using the silicone mix. I love using silicone mix. It makes the hair shafts. I'm sorry, I keep speaking technical terms. You're going to use the silicone mix to make your hair super duper soft. Like when I say soft, like you can also use this method with ice, and you can put it on the stove and you can boil it. It's a lot of ways you can do it. I'm going to be showing you guys all this, but for right now, I'm just going to show you I'm using the silicone mix. I'm going to go ahead and smother this on the hair, lather it up. Gonna let this sit for about 2 to 3 minutes. As y'all can see, it said 2 to 3 minutes on the actual jar. We're gonna OD because, you know, we don't care. We don't follow directions. Leave it on for about 10 minutes. And I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all really quickly of me bleaching the knots on the 5x5 closure. I'm using Wella, which is my favorite bleach. I wouldn't say expensive. It's more on the $19 from Sally's. Make sure my closure is clean. When I say closure, I meant the lace. Make sure the lace is super duper clean because, you know, we're going to put the bleach on there. I used a 50 volume. Put the 50 volume on there. Go ahead. Clean it up a little bit. Let it sit. I let it sit for probably about an hour. It's a 50 volume. You really have to watch it. But remember, the lace is wet, so you don't have to worry about it being over bleached. In an hour later, you see me here. I'm rinsing out the bleach. I don't know if you guys can see, but the knots aren't over bleached. I'm using my rat tail. Y'all, I will fight about a rat tail comb, okay? I am nothing without a rat tail. Do y'all see that? Like, it's so neat and pretty. Like, I love it. I love it. And I'm going to go ahead. Remember, I only dyed it and did the bleach. So now we're going to use the shampoo from Silicone Mix. Go ahead, lather that up. You know, make sure I got all the dye out, all the bleach. You don't want, I don't know if people understand sometimes. If you make a mistake and you leave bleach on your lace gets a little white and more ashy when they go to install your wig or when you install your wig. So if you don't rinse out the bleach, that causes a little flashback too. But right here, we don't have these problems. We're going to go ahead and smother it in, lather it up. Make sure all the bleach is gone. All the bleach is gone. Now all we got to do is sit here, add the silicone mix, conditioner, let that sit, rinse it out, and we're basically done. So that's the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe for my next video. And don't forget to comment below. I love to see y'all comments. When y'all see y'all comments, that makes me post another video. And I kind of give me an idea of where to go with my next video idea. So if you have any suggestions, go ahead and comment below. Ask me anything below. I love you guys so much. Thank you. And I see y'all soon. I promise.